Hey guys, what's up? Midnight Strike here, and I actually have a little bit of a topic for you guys today. I am bored, and it's like 2 a.m. and I have work tomorrow at 11, but I don't care. I'm bored, can't sleep, so I figured I'll just make a little topic video to spark a little bit of discussion, basically. So, the topic of choice today is the Megadeth Remasters. Yep, you heard me, that's right, we're going there. The Megadeth Remasters. Now, I touched on this a little bit in my Rust in Peace review, basically said that I was split on the topic, as in I like the remasters. For Killing Is My Business, So Far So Good So What, or Peace Sells, and then So Far So Good So What. If we're going in sequential order, then those three albums would be as follow. But then when it comes to Rust in Peace, as I said in my Rust in Peace review, I am very mixed. There's a fine line. I do like the production. It brings out and well defines each and every area. It boosts the volume, boosts the bass, and for most of the parts, for most of the album, it's fine. I actually like the more dynamic drum noise, but everything just kind of goes into a loudness war effect kind of thing, where it drowns out other elements previously heard on the original, like in Hangar 18. Sometimes it just sounds a little bit like noise, but, you know, it's a little bit more defined in the original, and you can still define it in the remaster. It's just a little bit different. I don't know, it just takes on a whole new different feel. And I do like the dynamic drums in that album with the remaster that comes along with it. However, then we get the things like re-recording vocals. Yeah, Five Magics and Lucretia I can't stand on the remastered. They just bore me to tears. The vocal quality of Dave's voice is just unbearably bad in those songs, or at least on the remaster. He uses some demo tape or something from around the time, for those two songs, but then he completely straight up re-records Take No Prisoners and the title track Rust in Peace. So for Rust in Peace, the title track, it's not noticeable at all, basically. There are a few instances where he sings a little bit higher on the original versus the remaster, but other than that, it's not a big deal. Take No Prisoners, totally different song, and I actually have an unpopular opinion. I like the remastered version better. Yeah, he sounds like this. But the backing vocals are a lot nicer, and they're a lot more audible, especially. They don't just sound like growls. You know, infiltrate them, that part. But, yeah, that's just me. When we get on to Countdown to Extinction, it begins to be clear. The drums sound like shit, in my opinion at least. The loudness is just increased to an all-new high. And I don't know, I don't like the mix in general. I just don't like it. It sounds way too compressed, and it's not really that appealing to the ear. I mean, it's the same stuff, it's the same album, but it just sounds way different, way more just compressed to shit, basically. And same thing with Euthanasia. Euthanasia actually loses a lot of its heaviness factor. I actually really like the album Euthanasia, the original. It actually, and especially on the Reckoning Day, that was probably the heaviest song on the album, probably the heaviest song Megadeth ever did, in terms of just heavy guitars, anyways, and just the heavy feeling of just that slow pounding track. So, yeah, I know they've had a lot of thrashers and everything, a lot of faster songs, a lot of speed stuff going on, but as far as in terms of sheer heaviness, Euthanasia had you covered. So, for the Euthanasia remaster, I was thinking, you know what, maybe they just brought out the audio, maybe they just, brought up the bass, made it sound even heavier. Nope. Yeah, they compressed the crap out of it, and they just kind of mess with the distortion and the echoing effects, especially on songs like A Tous les Mots. They just clear up his voice. It used to have this really atmospheric ambient echo effect that just set the mood, the tone for the entire song. It feels like I'm listening to a completely different song. So, yeah. As far as Cryptic writings goes, yeah, not really a huge fan. I actually do like the cover of the remaster a little bit better. That's another thing. They actually changed the cover art for the latter two. I actually like the original of Risk, the original cover art of Risk, but I do like the remastered of Cryptic Writings, because it actually shows the logo and it's a little bit more defined. There's a lot more detail in the cover art for Cryptic Writings, and it's just got a darker feel to it instead of just like The original cover just kind of feels a little lazy. But as far as the sound goes, same story as Euthanasia, and I believe they take out a few guitar melodies here and there, as well as on Symphony of Destruction for Countdown. I forgot to mention that. They actually take out a few little intricate guitar melodies in the remaster. They actually added a pointless intro to Sweating Bullets that just seemed tacked on and just kind of cliche and cheap in the remaster version of Sweating Bullets off Countdown. But on Trust, I think they add something. I'd have to listen to it again, but it's just the overall feel of it is just really compressed and really just attuning to the loudness war that's going on these days. They don't really do anything except for turn up the volume and make things a little bit more clear when they're not supposed to be clear, basically. It just takes away from the entire mood of the album. On some things it's good. Like I said, Killing Is My Business definitely needed a facelift. It definitely needed a new, like, fuller guitar sound, as well as on Peace Sells. I like the echoing effects a little bit better in the original. The drum sound in the original was a little bit better on Peace Sells, but as far as the overall sound goes, I do like the remastered better for the first 3 albums. Like, and Rust in Peace I'm divided on, but Countdown and Up, it's just like, you've got to be kidding me. Did you just put forth effort into the first 4 albums, and then just go on and say, okay, we'll just rush the rest of them? And Risk is another thing. They take out the entire intro to Insomnia and add a couple new mixes to Breadline. It's just, couldn't really get into it. That's one thing I always make sure to do, is look for the originals for the Megadeth Masters. So, yeah, especially for their later albums, for the 90s. But, yeah, like I said, kind of just doing this video to generate some discussion. I might do a versus on it or something. Maybe. Who knows? This is just an impromptu discussion to tide you guys off until my next full-on request video, which will probably be happening in a few days. So yeah, this is Midnight Strike 3625. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Keep calm and rock on.